Hi! So we are still keeping with Kid Lab's theme this week, and we're exploring the deep ocean. And while exploring the deep ocean, we're going to be talking about an artist named, Paul Klee. It looks like Klee, but it's Klee. He is from Switzerland, so we don't have any fancy French music this week like we did with Matisse, but I think it's going to be really fun. So Paul Klee was, one of the things he did was he was a printmaker. Here is our first example of some work by Paul Klee. Look at those lines and textures and patterns. And he got those by carving and etching into his surface before he printed it. If you've taken a class at Pulp and Pigment before, you probably have done printmaking on styrofoam plates. Do you remember when we carved into those with a pencil and we used a brayer and we printed on paper? So that's how he worked. So we're going to do something that will end up kind of looking like that style with those types of lines and these types of lines, but we're not printing because some of you probably don't have styrofoam plates or brayers or paint or the materials that you need. So I'm going to do something with the materials that you probably have at home. So we're doing something called scratch art, and all you need is paper and crayons. If you have thick paper, like cardstock, and you have oil pastels, even better. But you can do it with any paper and crayons. So you are going to take a piece of paper and take your crayons and color the whole paper. I just started this one, so it's not all the way full, but you're gonna wanna fill it all the way up, all the way to every side. And see how there's not a lot of white there? I did it nice and thick and close together, back and forth lines, so that it's as full as it can be. Then, after it's full, I started right here, you're gonna take your black crayon or oil pastel. Again, oil pastel works the best if you have it, and color it as hard as you can until your hand hurts from coloring so hard. Color the whole paper. Then you're gonna end up with something that looks like this. Do you see what I did? I colored the whole page black, and I used a tool like just a dull pencil, anything that's just not too sharp, and you can draw your little lines and etch just like he would into his printing plate your lines and shapes, and it gives you the feeling of one of those fish that glows in the deep ocean. So when you're doing yours, and I used some shapes that I was inspired by from last week, some Matisse shapes, you can look at the examples that I'll have of Paul Klee's work on our blog, on our website. I'll also have a YouTube video about printmaking so you can see how his process worked and compare it to your process. And if you're interested, I'll put the materials and links to Amazon if you want to do your own printmaking project at home. Let us know if you have any questions, and have fun.